Creating a sequel for a film is no easy task. You have to balance film executives milking your IP for extra cash.
We've got to have money.
And audiences expecting more and better out of your franchise. However, these worries don't really exist when making a sequel to an animated film for children. The intended audience won't be complaining about inconsistencies in the canon or lore, and executives frankly don't give enough of a damn to meddle with the development.
I have a request to shout woo-hoo in a public place.
I don't know.
Woo-hoo!
Excellent argument. Approved.
So we often get quite boring, bland, formulaic sequels to some of our favorite animated films. Then how do you make a sequel for a children's animated film? You could replace the guy who made the songs for your original movie, or take 14 years to develop an underwhelming story. No, those don't work. What if we just hired visionary George Miller? If you didn't know, the legendary director known for Mad Max dropped Happy Feet in 2006, exposing the world to the story about Mumble, a penguin who danced his way into social acceptance. Then, just a year later, Surf's Up was released, and all of a sudden, whenever someone said that penguin movie, you know they weren't talking about Happy Feet.
And any other skills besides surfing?
Like what? Like singing and dancing?
Yeah.
No, not me, man.
There will always be penguin movies, but to make the best one, George Miller fought the world. Like Da Vinci with the Mona Lisa, George Orwell with 1984, or Queen with Bohemian Rhapsody, Miller didn't just make a sequel film, he made a masterpiece. Okay, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but when I sat down to watch this movie, I felt hypnotized. Entranced by penguins dancing while they sing pop culture hits, moved by a father-son relationship so strong it can surpass religious influence, and forever changed by the existential gay krills looking to evolve beyond their limits. I know that sounds like a lot, but George Miller knows what he's doing. He's very good at delivering a lot of information to the audience in very little time. Like the Mad Max movies, which are some of his finest work, but everyone overlooks the movies he made that got him there. Dare I say that without the Happy Feets, Fury Road wouldn't have been the same. George Miller learned some crucial filmmaking and story writing skills while making the Happy Feet movies that prepared him perfectly for Fury Road. So why is it so good exactly? I mean, visually, the animation isn't particularly stunning to look at. It can be a little strange. Photorealistic animation places this movie closer to Disney's Lion King than Surf's Up in its style. But Miller is still able to extract emotional performances from the cast, and it shows through the medium. I found, however, that the real heart of this film lies within its story. I highly urge you to watch this film on your own time before watching this video, but anyways, I'm going to be walking through it. So welcome, pop a seat, grab your favorite snack, and join me as I watch and commentate this film. And don't worry, you don't need to watch the first Happy Feet for this. There's minimal context needed. Are you ready now for an experience you'll never forget? A cinematic milestone to be forever stored and treasured in your memories? Let's dive in. Happy Feet 2 begins with some ominous poetry.
Brothers and sisters, penguins all, everything in this world, no matter how big, no matter how small, is connected in ways we never expected. Yes, indeed.
The movie actually begins with a musical sequence as we're introduced to all the important characters in this story. Now, the Happy Feet movies are jukebox musicals like Mamma Mia or Moulin Rouge, where most of the songs used in the film are covers of popular songs. This opening song is a remix of Rhythm Nation, Dance and Shout, Seymour's Rap, Mama Said Knock You Out, Sexy Back. Heartbreak Hotel, Do Your Thing, and Kiss. Leading the charge of this chorus is Gloria, the lead singer of the Emperor Penguins. We also meet Mumble, the protagonist of the last movie, who, oh yes, introduced a new art form to his people. He's quite literally a messiah to these penguins. He invented dancing in their culture, completely rebalancing the meta. But that's not important, and he's not even the most important character in this movie. Meet the only penguin not dancing or singing, Eric. Mumble's baby penguin, if you couldn't tell from the bow tie for a birthmark. And holy shit, Brad Pitt's in this? Seeing that his son isn't joining the party, Mumble tries to get Eric to express himself.
Come on, son. It's just one big old foot after the other. No one will laugh at you, I promise.
Oh yeah, Mumble, you're super right about that. No one's gonna laugh at him for trying. Let's keep watching. I need to see that one more time. What? Yep, he pisses himself in front of everyone and everybody laughs at him. Even his own father is at a loss for words. But immediately we see that this is actually no laughing matter. Eric is shivering out of embarrassment, and when he looks up at his father, he looks truly terrified of him. Eric just went through some insane trauma because his dad goaded him into dancing. He initially felt left out at the party, but now he feels that tenfold. So Eric resigns himself to a hole to escape the embarrassment, and Mumble tries his best to make Eric feel better. Not to any good.
When I was your age, I got laughed at a lot. They thought I was weird too.
Mumble.
I mean different. You know, in a cool way.
Mumble,
like you're cool. I was uncool.
Easy.
Really uncool.
Whoa. Okay.
Enter Uncle Ramon, the desperately single Adelie penguin.
A little help here?
We would never have an egg with you. No way.
Give me one good reason.
You're too short. And you're gross.
Is that guy bothering you?
No, he's nobody.
And Ramon, longtime friend of Mumble, attempts to step in and help Eric.
So you two are mocked and misunderstood.
Ego, please.
Don't worry, I confess it.
No.
Let me tell something to you. What's a best friend for if you cannot bring a daddy and his boy together? Hello? Where are you? Hello? There you are. You know, Flavito, the truth is, for wild maverick outcasts like us who cannot be tamed, this place sucks!
Ramon, you're being ridiculous.
Not anymore. I am going home to a deli line.
Also to no good. And now we're introduced to one of the film's most important questions: how can we fit in? Let's remember that. Ramon, unable to romantically fit in with the penguins of Emperor Land, leaves for his home, Adelie Land, while Eric's friends Bo and Atticus comfort him. Meanwhile, we are introduced to the Krills, in particular, Will. Oh wait, that was Brad Pitt, who has reached a higher level of thinking, swaying away from common normie Krill thought.
Will, we are Krill. We are meant to look the same. Not me, Bill. There's only one of me in all the world. I am one in a Krillion.
Will and his boyfriend? Friend? I don't think they put a label on it yet. Will and his purposefully ambiguous life partner, Bill, engage in philosophical debate about their existence.
Tell me, Bill, what lies beyond the swarm? More swarm. And then some more swarm. And then, Will, there's nothing but swarm. We are a swarm without end. Everything's got an end. See? I end here. That is not a happy ending. It stands to reason, Bill. If I swim against the swarm, I must eventually reach the end of the world. Yeah.
Unsatisfied with the status quo of Krill life, Will yearns for a life beyond what he knows. Here we're introduced to a question countering Eric's side of the story. In this case, how can we stand out? Perhaps instead of fitting in, we can find comfort in standing out from the rest. I mean, that's what Mumble did in the first movie, so that should work, right? While the Krill are finding self-determination, Eric, Bo, and Atticus have gone missing. As Mumble goes on a search to find them, we learn that they have caught up to Ramon. And we get a reminder of just how young little Eric is.
No happy feet.
This might not feel important, but this is very important to know. Just trust me. Eric is very clearly a lot younger than his companion penguins. The way he communicates that he feels isolated and ostracized from Emperor Land is by saying,
What? No happy feet.
What? This is a good reference to contextualize pretty much everything that happens going forward. As the penguins continue on their adventure, we return back to the Krill who for the first time in their lives escape the swarm after a brief run-in with a whale. Exiting the swarm means their lives are going to change forever as they come upon a frightening realization of their reality.
So this is all we are. Lunch. To think we spent our whole lives not knowing the truth. Goodbye, Krill world.
Imagine discovering that you and your species' only purpose in life is to be prey. It's kind of an insane revelation, especially to these Krill who have never known anything else. When a friend showed me this movie, this was the scene where I knew I had struck gold. The Krills have only just started to defy their societal structures and go against the grain, while attempting to find meaning beyond their evolutionary purpose. And we're not even 15 minutes into the movie. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Ramon and the kids finally reach Adeli Land, where the insatiably horny Ramon hears mating calls.
Listen. Do you hear that? That's the mating call of the Adeli female. I'm about to be thrown to the ground and crushed by 1,000 chicas.
But they're not paying attention to him, instead their eyes are on the big show. Lovelace, a prophet penguin, directs the crowd's attention to what will be a holy experience for those watching.
A penguin who's not afraid of heights. So what?
Man, the way this scene is framed is just also so cool, and it just gets even better. Uh-oh, I hope you see where this is going. While Ramon clearly sees this penguin as a fraudster pretending to be a revolutionary to the masses, Eric sees him as an idol. Eric gets past security and gets to meet the flying penguin himself.
What your name is?
Eric.
Eric.
And I love this scene here where Eric attempts to copy how Sven says yeah.
Finland, we have many brave warriors called Eric.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
It's a very quick reminder that Eric is extremely young.
No happy feet.
And extremely impressionable as well. And Sven, who is a puffin to be clear, enjoys being the center of attention and very obviously enjoys Eric's wonderment and admiration. So he dedicates his song to him. Let's make sure we're getting this right. Eric just wanted to fit in. Mumble, his own father in blood, couldn't help him with that, but Sven could. So Sven starts singing his song, and surprise, surprise, it's another banger. It details the epic tale of Sven, the supposed last of his race that ended up being saved by the aliens. Humans are called aliens in this movie, by the way. Don't ask me about it. That's where Prophet Lovelace met him. And on one fateful night, Sven came to the discovery that he was just lunch.
So this is all we are. Lunch.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
I mean, I'm sure the humans weren't going to eat puffin, but if I saw aliens eating food that looked like me, I'd also be pretty terrified. Instead of telling Lovelace why, Sven just convinces him that they should leave, and Lovelace, after seeing that this penguin can fly, wasn't going to disagree. They came to Adeli Land and started preaching to the masses, and it worked because of course everyone's going to listen to the penguin that flies. Adeli Land was not the only victim to Sven's indoctrination, because during this song, Eric was getting really into it. Fortunately, Mumble has just arrived to get his son, and as he gets closer, Sven tries to help Ramon in finding a girl by introducing him to Sven Thing.
You must learn to think like Sven.
Why?
If you want it, you must will it.
If you will it, it will be yours.
Sven think. All rights reserved, copyright me.
It's literally just manifestation, and you know what? It surprisingly works. Ramon gets to meet Carmen.
You, me, beautiful egg, now.
You, me, fat chance.
I have a chance, and it's fat!
It's awfully convenient how this scene reinforces Sven's power and influence for Eric, furthering his idol worshipping. So when Mumble tries to bring Eric home, he refuses.
Let's go.
I'm not going back to Amberland.
Don't be silly.
I'm staying here.
What about the folks back home? And how worried your mother must be.
Thank God, though, for Eric's new role model, because Sven convinces him to go back home.
Eric, it's best to do what your father's saying.
But I don't belong there.
Oh, fluffy one. I want to tell to you a secret, okay? Sometimes, when you are a little different, the world laugh at you, yeah?
Yeah.
Think you're funny, pointing flippers. Yeah, well, we have a saying back in Svenland. Olika eri forskellige, verschillende olika eri. Believe in yourself, Eric, because Sven believe in you.
But before Eric leaves, he asks Sven a very important question, not before addressing him with a title.
Buddy Sven?
Yeah?
Will I ever fly?
Eric, please.
Mumble, the boy seeks a higher truth.
If you want it, You must will it. If you will it, it will be yours. Now, go.
Of course he has the perfect answer. He's Sven. So Mumble and the kids start heading home, and on the way, Mumble tries to be a good dad and give his son advice, but Eric clearly no longer respects his father.
Yeah, and we're all different. It's part of the job of life to find out who you are and what you got. It may not be dancing or flying, but when you find it, it'll be all yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okie dokie.
Right.
And now, Krill time! As Will and Bill discuss their condition and biological limitations.
This is our moment, Bill. Okay. Adapt or die, my friend. Adapt? There's no telling what we might become. Fine. Be a plankton muncher all your life. But that's what we are. We're herbivores. We eat veggies. Right. So everyone else can eat us.
And once again, Will the Krill rejects such a life.
Well, I, for one, am not prepared to be on the menu any longer. Where are you going? I'm moving up the food chain. The food chain? I'm gonna go chew on something that has a face.
As we return to Mumble and the kids, they come across a ravine in their path. Mumble insists on going around, but Eric, already defiant and disobedient, decides to cross a thin bridge with Bo and Atticus. Mumble goes along with it, but they run into a problem as soon as a giant elephant seal blocks their path. Brian, the beachmaster, stands in their way, and he apparently backs up for no one, especially not meager little penguins.
I've got the kids. It's kind of dangerous.
Of course.
And we're anxious to get home.
Oh, I see. Fair enough. But see it my way, sport. One day, I'll be protecting my beach, and some pumped-up mongrel wants to take it from me. We're nose to nose, the whole world's watching, and in the back of me mind, there's this niggling doubt. I once backed up for a penguin. He'll see it in me eyes, and I'm gone. Goodbye, ladies. Hello, lonely beach.
Unhappy with this obstacle, the little penguins try to get past the elephant seal. Bo attempts to climb over Brian, to no use. Atticus attempts to threaten Brian, to no use. Eric attempts to use Sventhink to, hey, well, you know what? He did make it across. Maybe Sventhink works. Now, all I'm thinking to myself here is, this Brian guy, he's a real slimeball. He's harassing children, he's stubborn, and he's a bit of a snob. Mumble, just as fed up as me, tries to push him, causing the bridge to break apart and leaving Brian on the edge of plummeting to his death.
Let's go! I'm sick of her ass! I'm sick of that shit!
And of course, just to make matters worse, when Mumble pushes Brian, we discover that this slime also has children. And Mumble might have just killed their father. Worst of all, these children, based on their inability to understand the dire stakes of the situation, seem to be just as young as Eric.
Daddy, what are you doing down there? Get back up here.
At Mumble's suggestion, Brian tries backing up and turning around, only to fall into the abyss. Upon rewatching this movie with some friends, this scene had us gagged, truly. But he's not dead. Yet. He starts making his final wishes and goodbyes.
Jane? Darren?
Daddy!
I need you to stay strong. I know you will, because you've never let me down. Penguin, you still there?
Yeah, right here.
Would you see that me boys get home safe to their mother?
Daddy, what are you saying?
Sorry, boys. They're calling full time on your old man's career.
No, Dad! No!
Mumble cannot catch a break. First he embarrasses Eric, and then he dooms a father elephant seal. He's a straight up villain in this movie, but his heart is made of gold, so he tries to save Brian. Eric, in the meantime, will try to use Sventhink, because perhaps if he wills it, he can save the elephant seal. Mumble dives into the sea and finds some ice in the water. He's unable to break it, so he attempts to get the attention of a leopard seal, while Bill and Will the Krills attempt to feast on it.
How's your appetite, Bill? He's a big un.
Bill bites into the head of the leopard seal just as Mumble successfully baits the animal. Mumble leads him to the ice wall and successfully saves Brian. The leopard seal scurries away in fright of Brian, which Will the Krill, funnily enough, mistakes as his own achievement.
Did you see the look in his eyes? Mortal terror! You said he was finished! I spared his despicable life! What? He'll tell his friends. Spread the fear. There's a new predator in town.
When Mumble returns to the children with Brian, Eric is excited and happy, but for all the wrong reasons.
Pa, it worked. Something.
Brian, however, appreciative of Mumble's heroics, offers him a favor at his own discretion.
I owe you one, my friend.
Cheers, Brian.
No, I mean it. All you have to do is ask. Anytime, any place. No worries. Okay?
No worries.
Okay.
So the penguins return home, only to find that all the emperor penguins have been locked into this crater because of a giant iceberg, a vicious consequence of global warming. The emperor penguins are stuck with no way out, no way to feed themselves or their children. So they ask Mumble, of course, their lord and savior.
Mumble, can you get us a couple of fish for my kids?
Mine too!
Over here!
Okay, I'll do what I can.
What about my family?
Don't
And all of a sudden, Mumble's shoulders are feeling heavier. On top of trying to be a good dad, he is now responsible for feeding all of Emperorland. An impossible task. The penguin god has placed a large burden on him today. Mumble thinks about traveling to Adeliland to get some help, but Bo is already on the case.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm taking the shortcut!
No, you're not. You're staying right here.
But I'm very fast.
Eric!
Be cool. She's a free runner. Sorry, Eric. One's faster than two.
She's apparently the fastest penguin in this little group, and it's really cute that her mom is outwardly very supportive.
Who's this here? Do you have a tail feather?
Yes, I have a tail feather.
Then you shake it, my dear!
Booyah!
And they have this adorable little yodel call for each other. I just love this movie. So she goes off to Adeliland while our penguins start fishing. If it hasn't really hit you yet, this situation is truly terrible. Noah, the leader of the Emperor Land, has to deal with the increasing restlessness and mass starvation of his people.
There's a lot of talk out there, thinking the unthinkable.
Yeah, Noah, they're calling this the Berg of Doom. How are we going to answer that?
We look again.
But Noah, we can't
We go
just
back and we search 100 times.
There is no way out.
1,000 times if we have to. There's always a way.
Shit is hitting the fan. We're talking about a possible extinction of Emperorland. Everyone is on edge. The survival of Mumble's wife, his people, his species all rests on him. But of course, Mumble is still learning how to be a good father, so when Eric soars into the air after sledding on a fish, Mumble saves him, but begins to lecture him right away.
Did you see me? Did you see me?
Don't ever do that again!
Daddy, I was flying!
Oh, Eric.
Really flying!
Eric, still heavily indoctrinated by the way, believes he could teach everyone to fly, but Mumble shuts him down. And to make matters worse, their conversation is echoed throughout Emperorland.
Everyone can learn to fly! Mommy can get out of there! Get out of there!
Hey!
I don't know if there's a way out! No, way out! No,
Hey!
way out. But if there is, it sure as eggs ain't flying!
If the impact of Sven's influence is not clear enough, Eric recites his mantra.
If you want it, you must will it, and if you will it, it will be yours!
Oh, Eric, get real!
Let's not forget again how young Eric is.
No happy feet.
And how messed up it is that this stranger has wormed his ideologies into his brain like that. To reinforce Eric's young age, this also seems to be the first realization of the actual stakes at hand here.
They're trapped! They're hungry, afraid! The last thing anyone needs is false hope!
Boys?
Then they'll die.
Boys, what's going on with you two?
Their fight gets really bad, leaving Eric huffing and puffing, and it's kind of cute, to be honest.
Eric, just let it go.
Eric, calm down!
Gloria, thankfully, comes to Eric's rescue while Mumble goes fishing.
When your feet are made of stone, you're convinced that you're all alone. Look at the stars instead of the dark. You'll find your heart shines like the sun.
She sings a beautiful ballad to him, encouraging him not to lose hope. George Miller heard Pink sing this song and definitely thought, screw it, we need a sick-ass light show too.
Don't forget.
It's gorgeous. Now, if you thought the argument between Mumble and Eric was bad, get ready for the cracks to start appearing in the Krills' relationship. Their sleep is disturbed by some beautiful jellyfish, which finally opens up the conversation for Bill to talk about their situation and their futures.
Will, don't you long for the patter of 1,000 tiny little feet?
Yeah, I for one don't have the means to bring up so many kids. The birthday presents alone.
Oh, I've already picked out the names. Phil, Jill, Lil, Sil, Gil, Dill, Hill, Billy, Lily,
All
Willie.
right.
Wilma, Willis, Wilbur, Wilhelmina, William.
I get the picture.
And there's even a Will.
Good for you.
This is, unfortunately, not a love story. Will is too focused on his career to take this relationship to another level, so Bill breaks up with him.
We could start a little swarm of our own.
We're both males.
We'll adopt. You adopt. I'll adapt. I've got slaughtering to do. Fine, that's just fine. Off you go then. Quench your bloodlust. There's plenty more krill in the sea.
However, Bill has a codependency issue, so he begrudgingly stays with Will. I see what you're trying to do here, Georgie. This Krill side plot with homoerotic undertones probably didn't sit well with executives, so you had to put in that line to be safe. Meanwhile, Mumble's attempt to bring a sad amount of fish to Emperor Land is put on pause when he sees a flock of skuas heading toward his home. As if starvation and isolation isn't enough suffering, they now have to deal with a fleet of skuas, known for eating their children and eggs. Just as all hope feels lost, Noah gives a powerful speech to his people.
Emperor penguins! Though we stare famine in the face, we will not yield! Though imprisoned on every side by colossal walls of ice, we will not be broken! Yes, sir! Speak on it, Noah! We are fortitude! We are bold defiance! We are one glorious Emperor nation!
And just like that, chaos ensues. But then, a shining light emerges in all this darkness. Oh, this movie is just so good. Bo brings the penguins from Adeliland, which staves away the skuas, and what better penguin to lead the charge than Sven?
Salud.
Sven promises full bellies for the Emperor penguins, and would you believe it? This shit looks like magic. Perhaps if you want it, you must will it, and if you will it, you must... Sorry, I don't know what's gone into me. The Emperor penguins are no longer starving. That's one less burden for Mumble right now. He's feeling pretty good and hopeful, so he asks Sven to personally deliver Gloria a fish.
Do you think you could take this down to her?
Yeah, don't be silly. Where is he?
No, she.
Oh.
There, surrounded by the children.
That is your spouse?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Your spouse?
Here.
Wow.
The fish.
Oh, no, Mumble. She deserves the very best. A la carte. A la me!
While Sven looks for a fish, let's turn back to the Krills. Upon running into a bunch of predators...
A predator convention? Oh no! Why wasn't I invited?
Bill tries to stop Will from killing himself, which causes Will to finally put an end to their relationship.
Stop! I think we should split up.
Bill has been nothing but a burden to him this entire time, holding him back from his true evolutionary potential. So Will lets him go. And as soon as he does that, he gets swept up by some fish and caught by our new Lord and Savior, Sven. Sven brings Gloria a fresh fish from the sea, seasoned with Will the Krill, and starts flirting with her.
So, you must be glorious.
And you must be Sven.
So pleased to meet me. Really, I am delightful.
And when he gives her the fish, they...
Touch my tongue, touch my tongue.
Sorry.
That's all right. Ooh. Oh, yeah. You know, if...
Ugh, yup. Not only is Mumble losing his son to this maniac, he's getting cucked by him too. Luckily, Gloria still has her eyes on Mumble, and they make fun of Sven's accent, much to Eric's disapproval.
You shouldn't make fun of someone just because they're different. Especially someone who's came all this way to save us.
You're right.
And when Sven teaches everyone to fly, it'll be up, uppity up.
Eric,
and
let's not...
out of there. You'll see. Hey, who turned off the fish?
Hey, guys!
All of a sudden, however, the conveyor belt of penguins stops spitting out food because they've caught sight of aliens. The penguins believe they can help, so they ask the flying penguin to go over there and get their attention. However, Sven is still too traumatized to face the humans, so it's up to Lovelace to get their attention, which he miraculously does. So the predicament of the trapped emperor penguins is brought to the humans' attention. Because the humans are benevolent in this universe, if you haven't seen the first Happy Feet, humans saw penguins dancing and decided to ban all overfishing in Antarctica. So in this one, they decide to start carving the ice to make an exit for the emperor penguins. Finally, yes, they're going to be saved. Now, if you've been thinking about the constant whiplash that these penguins have been facing regarding their own extinction, it actually doesn't stop. George Miller is a pro at torture. When a blizzard hits, the humans pack up their stuff and go back to their boat. Not only do they actually just leave the penguins and the plot entirely, but when the blizzard is over, the ocean is frozen, meaning the supply of fish is now further away.
If the sea's so far away, how are we gonna catch food?
Yeah, what's the point of us starving too?
Adeliland, now fearful for its own survival, starts feeling uneasy. Sven decides he has to make a decision for his people.
I regret to inform we are no longer in the catering businesses. Then who will bring us fish?
Some good questions have no good answers.
With all hope lost and no more food on the way, the penguins of Emperorland actually start going insane.
I can't take it! I can't take it anymore! Out of my way! I'm getting out of here!
As they try to escape through their own measures, Eric and all of Adeliland try to convince Sven to teach them how to fly.
Help them, Sven, help them!
But not all penguins created equally.
But you're a penguin!
I a little more than penguin. I use this...
Look! They're halfway there!
Come on, Sven. Take them high to the sky.
Do it, Sven!
Do it, brother.
No, I can't!
Sven, fearful of losing his power and respect, decides he'll try it out, but when nothing works, Sven breaks down and confesses the truth.
Oh, mighty Sven, you did everything penguinly possible.
I is not a penguin. I is a puffin.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, just a little puffin bird. Run out of poof.
And here we see Sven's true character. He's not driven out of greed for power and control. He just enjoyed that people loved him.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. But when I lost my homelands, I was very lonely and very afraid. And then I meet you, and you believe in me. Sven. Oh, it was nice to have a family.
He had nobody until he had this family, but because he lied to them about who he really was, he became ostracized for how he was different. In the face of this despair, Mumble once again tries to unite the penguins. He convinces everyone to dance, hoping that the ice would fall. Eric even begins to dance with his father too.
We're doomed and they're dancing. Unbelievable.
But things don't go exactly as planned when an ice sheet falls and takes some penguins with them. Eric nearly falls, but Mumble, the hero, manages to save him with the help of Ramon's amigos. An unfortunate casualty to the fall was Carmen, the apple of Ramon's eye, and the woman who's been giving him no attention this whole time.
Carmen!
Where's Carmen?
Carmen!
It's okay, Ramon. I'm fine, I guess.
And because he can't stand the distance between them, Ramon makes a leap of faith into the chasm, risking his life for love.
My name is Ramon. Ramon Carlos Boyer Garcia Sanchez Santa Maria Leñina Pinto Pacifico Benito.
And holy shit, perhaps Ramon truly is the love god, because finally his endless acts of love get recognized by Carmen.
Ramon, I can't believe you did this.
How could I not?
But down here, we're doomed.
1,000 lifetimes up there is nothing to this one exquisite moment by your side. You are my world entire.
You're beautiful.
Only on the outside.
That's a win, but they're still trapped, and Mumble is starting to get tired. Sven offers to step in and lead the dance, while Mumble remembers someone who owes him a favor. During all these events, Will the Krill has gone on quite the adventure, from flying in the air with Sven to getting caught in human tools and eventually trapped underneath the ice. He starts to miss his ex, Bill. He believes he's hallucinating when it turns out it actually is Bill down there with him.
Bill? Is it really you?
Well, there's only one of me in all the world. You taught me that.
Oh, Bill, what are the chances?
About 1 in a trillion, Will.
Bill and Will reunite with each other, and the rest of the swarm is here as well. Will apologizes for his behavior, but Bill comforts him.
I was such a fool, Bill.
Will, You're a legend.
Those days are gone, my friend. The carnivore is over.
No, it's because of you. We're all here.
It is?
I told them how the world really works, how there were predators, how we had to adapt. I led them here under the great ice. No one can find us here.
However, Will is still feeling despair. He's been trying to adapt, evolve, change who he is, but the machine of life keeps spinning him back out. And yet Bill reassures him.
But Bill, we're still at the bottom of the food chain, with no significant purpose.
Well, we all have a purpose. Yours is to change the world.
What possible difference could one krill make?
Wait and see, Will. You wait and see.
And we will wait and see. For now, Mumble approaches Brian on the beach in front of all the other elephant seals.
Brian, I need a favor. A big one.
For you, champ, anything.
I need you to come to Emperorland. Bring as many of your kind as you can.
Why?
To dance. You know.
Now, why would I want to do that?
And despite his pleading for help, Brian rejects helping him, claiming the beach and the other elephant seals are dependent on him. Dejected, Mumble leaves. Eric, however, cannot fathom what has just happened. This is the emotional climax of the film. He sees Mumble's unwavering perseverance, his heart of gold, being met with no respect or recognition. So what does he do? Our characters are at their absolute lowest. It's Eric and Mumble's last chance at saving their people. And this is a moment where I'm going to say that by this point, you should just go and watch this movie because the next scene will blow your mind. Let's take a look.
No, Pa. This is so unfair. After all you have done, you really deserve better.
Yep, he starts singing. That's right, the kid who just 80 minutes ago was talking like this
No happy feet.
is now singing an opera like this.
Where is the when a solemn promise is just a pretty lie?
It's beautiful. But it's not even for Brian. It's a beautiful ode to Mumble.
You don't need to fly to be awesome, my hero, my father.
This shit tears me up, man. It just hits. It really hits. This beautiful act of love convinces Brian and the other elephant seals to join the dancing efforts to break the ice. And cue the best song in the whole movie. As we approach this Infinity War level third act, our characters join in song and dance to help save the Emperor Penguins. Even the Krills.
You hear that? They're doing it again. Doing what? This. Fascinating. What is it? I have no idea. Wow. What's it for? Perhaps it's a momentary relief from the existential terrors of existence. Oh, what? It brings out my happy.
Ooh, shivers. Some characters even have their arcs go full circle, like Brian.
Brian, what are you doing? Sometimes you gotta back up to go forward.
And although Sven cucked Mumble and tried to indoctrinate his child, Mumble still invites him to join the dance and become family.
Hey, get down here.
Who? Me?
Yeah, right. Every step counts.
Just like that, all of our characters are here dancing and singing together, one big happy family. To cap this beautiful scene off, I would like to recall a scene from just moments ago.
What possible difference could one krill make?
Wait and see, Will. You wait and see.
When I watched that for the first time, I was squirming in my seat. It's just perfection. It's perfection.
Oh! Oh, yeah! Let's go!
Finally, the penguins have been saved. Families reunited, new friends and lovers have been made, father and son dynamic restored. And the movie ends. Not a single thread forgotten or stone unturned. This movie is truly, truly special, and I'm not even sure if I'm giving it the justice it deserves, so I highly urge that you watch it at home if you haven't already. With lovable characters, clever comedic writing, and some solid cinematography, this movie just hits it out of the park on every element. Not only that, but it manages to cover so much, like the question I raised earlier, how can we fit in? Do we do so by being just like the rest of the swarm, singing and dancing, using our happy feet? Or do we do so by being different from everyone else, flaunting our biological differences and evolving past our spot in the food chain? 3 characters channel this theme throughout the movie. Eric struggled to fit in with the other emperor penguins. Singing and dancing were not in his skill set, so he felt ostracized. This left him vulnerable to Sven's indoctrination because he was accepted for being different. Perhaps learning how to fly would help him feel accepted en masse like Sven. However, Mumble was a better role model throughout the whole movie. Mumble didn't need super strength to save Brian. Mumble didn't need wings to get the attention of all the penguins. He was just Mumble. For young, impressionable Eric, Mumble made a great role model because Mumble didn't care about fitting in. On the other hand, Sven thought finding acceptance and community with the Adelie penguins was by lying to them about his nature. Deceiving his way into becoming an idol backfired for him. Once he confessed and apologized, he was welcomed back into the fold. Once he was true to himself. Will's different perspective on life is what set him apart from the swarm, but unlike Sven, who used his differences for attention, Will stayed true. It didn't get him anywhere, but his dedication to his own philosophies is what made him influential to the other krill. Fitting in or finding a purpose isn't about finding what makes you special, it's just about staying true to yourself, like Mumble and Will. And this kind of extends to what the movie is trying to say about evolution. Forcefully trying to evolve and yearning to adapt is a critical theme here. For Will and Eric, their biological conditions weren't fulfilling enough for them. Will's craving for meat and Eric's desire to fly come hand in hand. They both want things that are actually impossible in their lifetime, so their real lesson for them is by accepting their natures. There's a lot I can go on about this movie, but I think it's one of those things that just come off better when you watch it yourself and come away with your own takeaways. It's funny that George Miller directed this film and then went on to make Fury Road. I think most people who only discovered him through Fury Road would be shocked to learn he made the Happy Feet movies. But I see his influence in this. Just like those Mad Max movies, this film does not let up. The stakes are always so high. From penguins captured to the Skua invasion to the blizzard that froze over the sea, this movie has its foot on the gas and never breaks until just the very end. I know I described this movie and its themes to oblivion, but I think there's still a lot of value in watching it from start to finish. It really just hits in a special way. The third act really comes together and wraps up everything with a nice little bow as if it was served on a silver platter. But beyond that, if I looked past the worrying effects of child indoctrination, past the disastrous consequences of global warming, past the existential terror of knowing that we cannot evolve past our nature no matter what, this movie taught me something. That you don't need to be colossal to be great. That even a krill can make a difference. That everything in this world, no matter how big, no matter how small, is connected in ways we never expected. Yes, indeed. Also, sucks that there won't be a third movie because George Miller literally said he would rather die than make it. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment on what you think, and maybe a like, maybe even a subscribe if you feel like it, but there's no pressure. Thanks.